Killing 1 million people in just 100 days? It's not a joke. It actually happened in 1994, in Rwanda. Amid this era of chaos and brutality, one man, Paul, managed to create a small island of safety, even if only temporarily. Just after he had managed to get his wife, children, and a group of refugees out of danger, a traitor inside the hotel tipped off the Hutu militia. The Hutu forces set up an ambush and intercepted the UN peacekeeping convoy. Paul heard the news over the radio and immediately called General Bizimungu, begging for help and promising generous rewards. As the massacre was about to unfold, the general's troops arrived just in time to save Paul's family. But the UN forces were forced to retreat and return to the hotel.
You are a liar!
Things got even worse when the militia cut off electricity and water. No power was bad enough, but without clean water, survival became even harder. The only option left was the dirty, stagnant swimming pool. But with over 1,000 people taking refuge in the hotel, it took less than half a day before even that water became foul. Soon after, the general who had sent help came to collect his reward, but all Paul could offer was paper money, which, in wartime, had become worthless. Disappointed and self-serving, the general left. Paul had just lost his last lifeline. That night, the hotel was attacked. Desperate, Paul remembered that he still had valuables locked in a safe at the Diplomat Hotel. Willing to risk everything for the safety of those in his hotel, Paul confronted the Hutu general again, this time at the Diplomat Hotel, and handed over everything in the safe, begging him to send troops to protect the hotel. The general, however, was preparing to relocate his forces. He said he could take Paul and his family with him, but that was it. Enraged at the general's indifference, Paul lashed out, calling him a fool. By now, the Tutsi rebel forces were rapidly gaining ground, and the general had been labeled a war criminal. He knew he would be held accountable, unless he could prove he hadn't participated in the genocide. Paul urged him. The only way to do that was to save the Tutsi refugees in the hotel. The furious general reached for his gun but backed down, fearing a military tribunal. He led his troops back to the hotel, which had already been taken over by Hutu militias who were looting and killing. The general managed to drive them out, finally, if only briefly, restoring order.